So it's my pleasure to be here today, and I would like to thank Ms. Isolina Boto for having invited me here today, and Ms. Chairman as well. And my name is Silvia Gaiani, and I'm a research fellow at the University of Bologna, Faculty of Agriculture. And I'm also working on a food recovery project, which is called Last Minute Market, and I'm going to talk in details about it. I have to apologize on behalf of Professor Segrè, as he couldn't come today, so it's basically only me who will make the presentation. And first of all, I would like to start to present you some figures and numbers, which I'm sure you already know very well. But what I think is really interesting is that food waste has rapidly become a burning issue. And this is mainly due to the fact that food waste is expected to rise to about 126 million tons by 2020 without additional prevention policy or activities. And these data have been provided by Eurostat projections. And at the same time, 935 million people are hungry, according to FAO. 300 million are obese, and 1 billion people are overweight, according to WHO. And now I'm quoting Tristram Stewart's book that says that global agricultural production could feed 12 billion people, so the double of the current world population, according to FAO, and food surplus would be enough to feed 3 billion people. So I think this is quite shocking, especially if we think that agricultural production is already producing enough food to feed everyone. And globally, only 43% of fruits and vegetables are consumed, and the remaining 57% is wasted. So that means that between 30 and 50% of all the food produced is wasted. And I think the table here is really interesting, as you can see exactly how much food and how many calories are lost from the field to the fork. So as you can see from the very beginning, we have something like 4,600 calories available, mainly thanks to the crop harvested. And then at the end, at the consumption level, we only have something like 2,000 calories. So food is wasted from field to fork in every single steps of the food chain. And according to REP, and I think it mainly refers to the UK, domestic food waste is massive in the UK as in many other European countries. But according to REP, what is really important is that 22% of food waste is potentially avoidable at domestic level, and 78% is avoidable. So, I mean, almost everything could be not wasted. At European level, the situation is not really, I mean, it's quite impressive, because if you think that the amount of food waste per capita is something like 179 kilograms per capita. So that means that in the whole 27 European countries, food waste is estimated at 89 million tons. Again, households produce the largest fraction of EU food waste. And if you think about the other sectors like manufacturing, food catering, and retailers, households, actually, they are the ones that waste the most. And what I think is really interesting is that there are no common methodologies, and I think this is something we are going to work on together with Toine and the other partners in the Fusions project, as the University of Bologna is part of it. And yeah, methodologies for collecting and calculating the food waste data submitted to Eurostat differs between member states. So, I mean, basically, each member state can select its own methodology, so there are no common grounds and no common methodologies. Of course, as it was mentioned in the previous session this morning, food waste has many impacts. So it has environmental, economic, social, nutritional, and I would say ethical impacts as well. So environmental impacts can be measured by different methods. For example, we have the carbon footprint, the water footprint, the ecological footprint, and you can read in the slide some of the shocking data. I think what is really striking is that the amount of wasted food in industrialized countries is as much as 222 million tons, which is equal to the production of food available in sub-Saharan Africa, which is equal to 230 million tons. And also, I think overnutrition, I was mentioning before the number of obese people. According to SMIL, overnutrition can be considered as food waste as well. So what can be done? How can we reduce food waste? What I mentioned in this slide is that we have 4 solutions, 4 R's solution, like reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover, plus 1 P, which is prevention. So among the many different solutions we have, we can find source set reduction, better logistics and marketing strategies, commercial measurement and tracking software, home compost and better planning, alongside municipal separated collection. These all represent alternatives to food waste incineration and disposal. Of course, we have many other solutions and approaches to reduce food waste. Among them, awareness campaigns for citizens and students, for example, proper policies like policies on labeling, on packaging, food recovery initiatives, which are mainly launched by NGOs, retailers' initiatives against buy one, get one free, for example, international and national projects, research, sell online in store at reduced price, and audit rewards for shop retailers who commit themselves to reduce food waste. And what I'm briefly going to talk about is an Italian case study. It's called Last Minute Market. And Last Minute Market is an academic spin-off which was created at the Faculty of Agriculture in Bologna in 1999. And it mainly links shops and retailers and producers who have unsold food, which would otherwise be discarded, with people and charities who need food. And also not only food, because Last Minute Market recovers everything that can be recovered, from books to medicines, from seeds to food. So Last Minute Market is mainly about food recovery and about waste prevention. It has launched awareness campaign and Spreco Zero, which means zero waste. It's a sort of certification for restaurants and also events that try to prevent or to reduce food waste in their activities. And Last Minute Market is now active in more than 40 Italian towns, and it is also active in South America, in Argentina mainly. And I think it's a win-win project because all the stakeholders involved can find benefits. So profit companies like retailers, they have benefit in donating food instead of discarding and throwing away food. At the same time, the public administration can reduce the taxes on the food which is disposed, and charity organization can get food for free. So Last Minute Market mainly provides economic, social, and environmental benefits by reducing the amount of waste and improving assistance to people in need. And just to give you an example, okay, here is a retailer case, and I'm sorry, data have not been so updated. So during a 4-year time span, we were really able to reduce food waste in supermarkets. And this is the case of a retailer case in Bologna, in my hometown. And you can see that from 2005, when the project began, to 2008, I mean, food waste was reduced. At the beginning, it was something like 92.4 tons of food wasted in a year. And in 2008, in the same retailer, a smaller amount of food, something like 53 tons of food was wasted. And of course, there was also in the budget of the retailers, they could really spare some money. Instead of throwing food away, instead of disposing food, they could really spare some money on donating food. And something I want to bring your attention to is the joint declaration against food waste. Because Last Minute Market and the Faculty of Agriculture worked together to present a European declaration, a joint declaration against food waste, which was presented by myself and Professor Segrè at the European Parliament almost 2 years ago on the 28th of October 2010. So it's mainly a declaration based on 10 goals. And the main idea behind the declaration is to commit the European Union and especially the European Commission to reduce food waste by 50%. And it's made up of 10 goals, but every year a new goal is added. So in 2011, a goal in order to reduce the amount of water wasted was introduced, and in 2012 the newly introduced goal was the reduction of energy waste. And then from the joint declaration we were able to work on a sort of European resolution to reduce food waste. We worked together with some members of the European Parliament, and especially with Paolo De Castro, which is the chair of the Agricultural and Rural Commission, and with another members of the European Parliament. And we worked together with them in order to present at the DG Agriculture of the European Parliament a European resolution to reduce food waste by 50% by 2025. You can find the link there if you want to have a look at the resolution. And the resolution is based on many goals, many different goals. And some of the main points of the resolution are that we want to call on the Commission to support measures aimed at reducing waste along the entire food supply chain. We would like the European Commission to establish a harmonized definition of food waste, and we urge the Commission and the Member States to promote awareness-raising campaigns to inform the public about the causes and effects of food waste. And also we call on the Commission to determine ways and means of better involving agri-food businesses, wholesale markets, shops, distribution chains, all the stakeholders along the whole food supply chain in no-waste practices or anti-waste practices. And also we would like to invite the Commission to consider possible amendments to the public procurement rules on catering services. And last but not least, we would like the Commission and the Council to designate 2014 the European Year Against Food Waste. It was already mentioned this morning, but most probably 2014 will be the European Year Against Food Waste, so there will be a specific budget allocated for every country to carry on some actions in order to reduce food waste. So I think it's a very good opportunity, and I mean, we should all work together in order to reduce food waste, because as Tristram said this morning, I mean, Europeans are the ones who waste the most. So, thank you very much.